When most people picture the Black Panther Party, they picture men, leather jackets, berets, but by 1969, 2/3 of the party's members were women. 2/3. So here's the question. If that is true, why don't we picture these women? Why does the image of the party remain so masculine? I'm Dr. Joshua Crutchfield, historian of Black freedom movements. This is Sankofa House, where we look back at history in order to move forward. In our last class, we examined how the Panthers controlled their narrative through their newspaper, the Black Panther. Today, we're asking a different question. How did Black women reshape the Black Panther Party from within? And how does centering them change how we understand the party's evolution? From the beginning, the Panthers emphasized armed self-defense, and that conjured up a powerful image. It entailed what they called brothers on the block, who stood armed and defended their community. That image traveled fast, and it defined for some what revolution looked like. Strong Black malehood, protection, defense. But here's the tension. If revolution looked like that, where did Black women fit in? Historian Robyn C. Spencer gives us some language to help answer that question. She writes, while much of the rhetoric revolved around the ideas of brothers on the block standing up and acting as protectors of the Black community, they also preached a non-dogmatic message of activism that assumed a unified community where women were political actors. They theorized about the need for strong manhood, but didn't counter that with descriptions of submissive womanhood. Black women turned these theoretical loopholes into open doors. That insight should change how we understand the party. While the Panthers did not begin as a feminist organization, they also did not seal women out ideologically. So women walked through that opening, and once inside, they reshaped the party. If you value historically grounded analysis of Black political movements, make sure you subscribe to Sankofa House. What did that look like practically? It looked like young Black women in Oakland deciding that the party's politics spoke directly to the challenges that they were experiencing in their own lives. They faced poverty, police violence, and had limited political power. They felt the same urgency as young Black men in Oakland felt. So for them, armed self-defense did not read as masculine posturing. It read as strength. Many had already been politically active in schools, in cultural movements, and in local organizing spaces. They were looking for an organization whose radical politics they believed in and whose gender politics did not lock them out. For them, the Panthers offered something that other Black nationalist organizations did not. 16-year-old Tarika Lewis is one example. A student at Oakland Technical High School, a member of the Black Student Union, an early advocate for a Black History Club. She became the organization's first woman member, but she was not an exception. She was part of a pattern. By 1969, according to the party's own internal survey, 2/3 of the party's members were women. Women worked on the newspaper, managed communications, ran offices, coordinated international sections, and organized survival programs. If you remove that work by the women within the party, the organization does not function. The infrastructure collapses. So the image of brothers on the block may have started the party, but women sustained it. And by the 1970s, women weren't just sustaining the party, they were leading it. As the party shifted from police patrols to survival programs, electoral campaigns, and institutional organizing, women increasingly held central leadership roles. Kathleen Cleaver held the position of communications secretary. Connie Matthews became the international coordinator. And in 1974, Elaine Brown became the chairperson for the party. This wasn't just symbolic leadership. It reflected a deeper transformation within the party. The party that entered the 1970s was not the same party that began in 1966. It had become more institutional, more pragmatic, more embedded in communities. And women were central to that maturation. But leadership and growth did not eliminate the tension within the organization. The Panthers were trying to build a new society while still living within the old one. As women's participation expanded, internal questions became unavoidable. They debated housework, collective living, gender expectations, Sexual politics. These were questions about how a revolutionary organization should function. By 1970, the party adopted a formal position supporting women's liberation. That did not resolve every contradiction, but it did mark a shift. The party was redefining its political culture, and that evolution mattered. Now, here's why centering women changes how we understand the party's decline. As the party expanded, as survival programs deepened, as women strengthened the party's internal structure, state repression intensified. Surveillance, infiltration, arrest, political violence. The more organized the Panthers became, the more dangerous it appeared to federal authorities. Centering women helps us notice something crucial. They were key to the Panthers becoming more organized, and that growth triggered a coordinated response. In our final class, we're going to examine that response. COINTELPRO, police raids, infiltration, political prisoners. We're going to ask, was the decline of the Black Panther Party inevitable, or was it engineered? If you want to understand the end of the party, you have to understand what it had become. And Black women were central to what it became. I think the party struggling internally against its own sexism brings up questions for us today. What are the appropriate ways that our movements for freedom today can struggle against our own internal contradictions? And how might that internal struggle open up possibilities for us? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for studying with me.